Alrighty. Hello, friends. It is your friend, CryptoFace. Boy, you know, this channel we used to make, well, I always say we, because I believe in we as a community. But, this channel used to do videos, you know, and, now really, we've really just, majority is really just streams of my trades. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't able to watch such said streams. Sally's streams on the shore of September. And I figured we would just go over, I suppose, the market cipher. And really identifying the environment. And for me, it's pretty simple. The environment has been the same for over a month, I believe. Mainly with the strength behind the upward movement and downward movement. If you plan on trading long term, your environment, and how you consistently, safely, profitably trade over the long term, you have to adapt to the trading environment, because it does change and it is adaptable. You are able to adapt to it. Lo and behold, on multiple time frames, we have been seeing terrific basic strategy. We've been seeing, you know, for example, with longs, nice money flow curves, momentum's coming up, VWAPs that would be also be coming up on the higher time frames, so to speak. RSI's coming up, but good DBSIs, good signals, but we have been seeing very split RSIs. These are both these two lines are both separate RSIs that are that are color coded. And it's very simple. When these two lines are closer together, it is strong. The movement is stronger. The move is strong. There's legs under it or above it. When it is split and spread, especially this gap, it is weak. And what has been happening for the past month, maybe even 2 months, is we have little long setups, but you cannot get carried away, because they will just get cracked down, and they have been on multiple time frames. It's been volatile, right? For example, so we're on the hourly on Bitcoin, right? If we squish it overall, yeah, money flow coming up, momentum overall going to the upside. You see overall blue shifting up, yay, right? And the price has overall gone up, but it's been getting cracked down and cracked down and cracked down and coming up and cracked down and coming up and cracked down. So I don't know about anybody else, but I know for me, it's been taking the pittance, and those little pittance add up. The little fish add up. Taking the little fish. earlier today on the 4 and the 6 hour. We were right here. We had the red dot also on the 4 hour. We were right here. And man, right now when the price moves up a little bit, everyone is so gung-ho. And it's always going to be like that too. That never really changes. No matter what type of market, no matter how bearish, or if it's going down to 3,000 or 10,000, no matter what, there's always going to be people screaming the bottom, and screaming, this is it. And that's just how it is. And you just have to learn to tune everyone out and focus on your tunnel, on your environment, and adapt to it. So if you're, playing these longs on these lower time frames, and we see the 4 hour, the 60 or higher time frames are showing gapped RSIs, you know that yes, overall, money flow coming up, momentum coming up, but it's going to be a jagged, ragged ride. So plan accordingly, trade accordingly, or not accordingly. That's just me. Taking a look at the weekly. Let's go. Oops. Nothing really see there that's any different. Weekly money flow, gap, momentum coming down, RSIs coming down. Still have our little rejection, our little support off this spider line for now. So if you're a bull, you definitely on the lower time frames want to start seeing this stuff start curving up. This momentum wave clip, this one is wide open right now. It's not looking like that on the weekly. Going to the 4-day. 4-day, zoomed in a little bit. We got little V-wappage, a little kind of a little V-wappage there coming. Not, we like to see nice, smooth, good, rounded V-waps. And this one, that is there. This V-wap's a little etchy, a little jagged. Coming down overall money flow, still light, little. You can go back in the past and kind of see what the price did, and sometimes it was the bottom, sometimes it was not. Sometimes it was down here, and price comes up, then it comes down lower. It's just the reality. Looking at the daily. They've got a little curve in the RSIs, VWAP curving down. Small curves deep in the money flow, I believe, is what Bitboy and them were looking at. This is pretty deep down in the money flow. I don't remember which time frame they were looking at. Was it, maybe it was the daily. That's pretty low. Yeah, it's down there. Even here in October 19, this was a bottom, so to speak. Price came up a lot, came back down, eventually came back down lower. About the RSIs, boom, boom. Okay, that was pretty close to the bottom. Right over here. Yeah, that wasn't it. That wasn't the bottom yet. It was a bottom, came up, came lower. So, future unclear. But certainly leaning bearish, certainly. VWAP coming to the downside on the 12-hour. Yeah. Go to lower time frames. Yeah, we go to lower time frames. Have a little money. That's when you see the money flow start to curve up here. In the 12-hour, I mean, it's slightly moving. This is certainly not confident RSIs. This current VWAP coming down. Momentum, obviously, momentum is still completely leaning to the downside. Certainly no confirmations of it turning up on the 12-hour. Going to the 6-hour. All right, you got a little money flow here, a little RSI kind of coming up there, but as the immediate term, momentum coming down, VWAP, you know, coming up, I guess, a little bit there. Yeah, I mean, this looks like, yeah, it could have some coming up, but doesn't look, This actually is the most bullish thing we've seen yet since the beginning on the 4-hour. About as bullish as the first time frame started from the 2-week down, where we actually like, okay, there's some little hope here. Momentums, money flows, RSIs, but they could look better. Coming on the 2-hour, it's still thin, it's wide. There's not much juice here, which makes sense when volume is thin. I think a lot of the institutions are hands off right now. The institutions, whatever that means. If I was a betting man, which I am, I would say this looks more like sideways and watching a another YouTube channel today, posted on Twitter. You guys have heard me say, you know, by the way, my Twitter has, ever since I started doing the Twitter, certainly get inbox messages full of people and their stories, different stories, but many stories of how, you know, they got wrecked or they're going through a tough time, or they just they want to learn how to trade. I want to learn how to trade, and they explain why they need it so bad, or why they've gotten smacked and they need to trade it back. And can you teach them? And here's what you know what Gary Vee said? It was in reference to NFTs. The guy asked me, if you had $500 and you wanted to get into an NFT game, what would you do? And he said, number one, he'd take that 500, go garage sale hunting and flip it into $5,000. That was the first thing he said. Number two is he said, hit up the little NFT crypto communities and ask them to work for them. Be a mod. Basically, what he said is what I've been saying as well, which is, if you really want to try to take on trading, man, take on yourself, then you should generate a set. You gotta have a second income to fund it. Open up a lemonade stand. Not your main income. Certainly not your last 500 or 1,000 or all you got. Especially if you're not young and if you have a family. Oh, you better be slanging them lemonades and Girl Scout cookies. I don't care if you have to get your kids to knock on doors and sell chocolates. The environment shifts whether you like it or not. it is adaptable, or it's not impossible. I have been having a great 2 months. Great 2 months. I had one trader I got knocked pretty good for 230 grand, and I think a couple other that were like 50 grand or something. But yeah, it's been a good 2 months for me. And this is the first time. This is the first time for this weak RSI gap type of environment. This is the first time in my experience where I've had to trade like this, and it's actually really, it's once you have the environment pegged and it just keeps repeating itself. Just like we said, Bitcoin will make a pattern. It'll, whether it's a Chinese trumpet or a head and shoulders or a Bangladesh tiger. Let's say it makes 2 shark fins. That's the pattern. And after the shark fins, it goes up a bunch. On the 6 hour, well then on the 10-minute, Bitcoin will make shark fins on the 10-minute and go up. And then on the daily, you'll see there's 2 big shark fins and it goes up. And on the 5-minute, it makes 2 shark fins and it goes up. Bitcoin takes patterns and repeats them on multiple time frames. It does it all the time. And it's the same thing with our other indicators, oscillators, everything else. And right now, these weak, the basic strategy, everything pointing up, but it doesn't have much legs. Price goes up, there's money to be made, but boy, you really gotta be able to take your profits. Absolutely set your stops. Don't set yourself up to get cut. It's better to have a trade where you make nothing or lose a tiny bit than one where you lose a lot. And if you make the mistake, you say, "Oh shit, I didn't take profit when I could have." And you know, man, listen, it's when it pumps, it's pretty much done. On these moves, when it pumps, the price has been coming back down. So when you're in your trade, if you're in and it goes boom, and you see the order book, when it has a pump, take the money, dude, because it's gonna come back down. And then look at this, came all the way back down. Then yay, it pumped. This one kind of went sideways. Then boom, pump, back down, pump, back down, bam. When it pumps, and you see the order book stall and freeze after it going up 500 or $1,000, take the money, man. Take the money. Exit the trade. You'll be able to get another one later, and don't chase it. Take the scraps. Eat the krill. That is if you're trying to do this stuff. So yeah, and I don't see it stopping. I think this whole I think it seems like it's gonna keep on doing the same thing for another month. Weak moves up, chop down, volatile. Weak moves up and down. It's weak. And it is jagged. It is moving up and down a lot. Like every other candle is up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So it's can really mind screw you. It's not going up, chilling, and then down, and then chilling, and going up. It's jagged, like a cactus. Looks like a cactus. Roses have their thorns. Cactuses have much more. This is a cacti. We're in a cacti environment. It's prickly. But even in cacti, there is water. Even cacti, produce beautiful flowers. Some of them. And it has many pricks. Market Cipher, official sponsor of Platinum Mike Perry. Fight coming up in February. He's fighting, let me bang, bro. That dude looked pretty decent his last 2 fights. We're going to be sponsoring Platinum Mike Perry again. Don't forget the Academy. Had a lot of great feedback. And Evan Aldo's coming. We got another big-time OG from our community that's going to be an educator as well. That should be uploaded any day now. And as far as the merch, we got to get on top of that. And we're going to be switching our merch film and stuff around. Other than that, folks, how about that black gold? I can't help but to oil, baby, oil. You know, listen, if crypto, if it could be a great time to expand into other assets. If crypto ain't doing it for you, you'd be surprised, or maybe not, how much simpler something else may be. Hell, you might learn something. Alrighty, folks. Thank you for all of you who support me. I love you guys. We're almost at 200,000 subscribers. We're like 7-8K away. That'll be pretty cool when we hit that. And, yeah. Have a good night.